My name's David. I'm homeless.
Basically, we are online on the crowdfunding tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, so people can actually buy the book.
You've been waiting on this a long time, and it quite possibly might be your only chance. Tell me about the first time you pointed a gun at someone. So much is happening that something big is going to happen, and I'm like, yeah.
Let me see what I'm doing. Okay. Oh, that's a very good idea. Oh. Oh. Come on.
I try to be gone relatively early, and I don't come back till late. I make sure there's no mess. I don't make a noise while I'm here. I think I've been here off and on about 3 years now. Right. This way. After you filmed me for the first time, and people were asking me questions about that, why is these two people following me around with a camera? I told them. And then I was coming to the completion of the book, and when I heard that the filming was going to be on TV, people were interested. Have you thought about getting your book published? I hadn't, to be honest with you. But people started showing some interest. People started thinking that this was a viable project, that this might help get me out of my situation. And the project kind of just exploded.
I was looking through the chapters that you sent me.
Yeah.
My suggestion is that we take a bit of the conversation with the woman at the bus station.
Right,
And then actually the flashback to 20 years ago.
So drop out the whole aftermath of the robbery at the bus station, at the train station, and leave that.
That's
Yeah,
the second.
I understand it. Yeah.
Vi er lige ved at gennemgå de ting, som Dave har skrevet, sådan at der bliver en fin fortælling på tirsdag i 3 dele, som opsummerer hans liv, fortæller om nogle af de ting, der er sket i det, og som ligesom kan give de folk, der er der, en fornemmelse af, hvad der er i bogen. I think we can make it from here. The place was small enough to here. Depends on how fast you read.
It depends on how comfortable I am with the audience.
Should you just try and read it out loud to me, and I'll actually time it. Just take your time and remember that even though most Danes understand English, we need
I understand.
to... Yeah. Okay.
The place was small enough to avoid the legal restrictions on smoking, so I took out my book, poured my beer and lit a cigarette. 10 minutes later, excuse me, are you English?
That's true.
TV on Tuesday. I was well insulated and no one paid attention to me.
He refers to your dad. And it's
Oh,
stepfather,
right. Yeah, stepfather, yeah. So before I left, I told them, nice doing business with you, which was unacceptably cocky. Robbery was one thing, but don't take the piss. As I've been told in the past, I have a flair for the dramatic, which frequently backfires.
They don't come to judge, they don't come to criticize, they actually come because they hope they will have a good night. So you can be completely relaxed. They like you already.
I collect bottles on average 6 to 7 hours early week, but during the later weeks I'm going to kick it up to between 8 to 10. The bottles have basically been my only source of income for 4 and now coming into the 5th year. I'm just going in here for what I guess you'd call it a job interview as a guide. Homeless people, showing people the city from their perspective. Mikkel Jakobsen? Cool.
Welcome.
Tack.
Here you go. I couldn't find the one in English.
It's okay. I can read
You
it. It's
can
fine.
read
It's just speaking it. I have problems with.
Okay. It's the places you visit on a poverty walk.
Okay.
Yeah. One day we had 150 people out.
Okay.
Going a poverty walk. And then I have this one too. That's the newest. How many homeless people there is in Denmark and. Nøgletal, just look it through.
Yeah, I'll just at least get the highlights and.
Yeah. The 28 or the 29.
Either or both. I'm not bothered. All right.
Super. Thank you.
Appreciate you giving the call. That'll be something that'll be interesting to do. I have a job. I'm saying yes, and to a lot more things that I would have considered myself even capable of 12 months ago. I go, yeah, you're gonna put a camera in front of me? Fine. You're gonna make me stand up in front of the mayor and a bunch of people? Yeah. You want me to take strangers on a horse and tell them about it from a homeless perspective? Let's do it. You're gonna publish your book? Why not? Great idea. Let's do some fundraising. Great. Why me? Why now? You know, just. When I was 14, my mother and stepfather were running, in English we call it an off-license, a liquor store. And there was some, shall we say, irregularities in the accounts and in the stock. So Mike asked for my help, basically to fake a burglary. I mean, as he said, you don't want mummy to go to jail, do you? Obviously not. So I helped. That kind of broke any kind of moral qualms I might have had about it. Second time, pay some bills, you know, get a new place. Okay. That was the next, you know, pushed my moral boundaries a little bit further. And within 6 months, you didn't even have to convince me anymore, just ask. And that was it. I was a thief. Slowly but surely, I became the kind of guy that could walk out of a car across the road and into a bank and point a gun at innocent people. I didn't think of them as people. They were just people working in an institution, and I didn't identify with them. We started my criminal career together. We split somewhere in the middle, but we came together at the end. He was actually driving the car that was my getaway car, and I was in when they stopped us and arrested me. I got 8 years, he got 7. I'm also up to race rest to discuss with Tommy, my 30 guy. It's basically, as well as reading from the book, Tommy's going to be asking some questions around the book, the story of the book, maybe questions that arise from the passage I've just read from.
Basically, we are online on the crowdfunding tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We're going to have some iPads and stuff like that, so people can actually buy the book.
Cool.
As soon as we're done with it.
Yeah.
And people can also go and share the event and stuff like that. Målet er at samle 35.000 kroner sammen, så vi kan hyre en professionel engelsksproget redaktør, som kan gå Daves bog igennem med en tættekam og sørge for, at den får en kronologi, som er bogen værdig, og at vi har nogle midler til at trykke bogen for. We need to give them the story. So I will go on what will actually...
I can survive without a roof over my head. I can survive without the flat and the job. But I can only survive, I can only do it if it's in the process of the dream. It's a summation of of my life, all right?
As I see it, for you, it's also a preparation to actually socialize with people.
Yeah, that's...
If I 8 months ago and said to you, by the way, on Friday you're going to stand with with maybe this lady you have met briefly down in the basement and you're gonna rehearse. You have said,
yeah, I mean,
shoot me in the knee.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I couldn't have done this last year. I knew nothing about Denmark, which meant I wasn't likely to meet anybody who I knew or did the things I used to do. You know, if I'd gone to France or Spain, I would have been tripping over English criminals. Greece even, or Italy. But Denmark? Who the hell's going to look for me here? Could be an e-book, soft cover, and a slightly encourage other people to shop, yeah.
But I think
there's going to be Dave reading, there's going to be musicians playing, and the mayor is going to talk.
But the guy got me into his schedule, and I expected like, I'm going to his place, you know, his campaign headquarters. Yeah. You know? I would have been happy with just, maybe a few people down here, you know, but no, I'm getting,
Jeg synes oprigtigt, at han fortjener det. Jeg synes, at vi kan hurtigt blive enige om, at han måske ikke altid har været det perfekte menneske. Vi kan blive enige om, at han har gjort ting, som han åbenlyst fortryder i dag, og som han taler om af fortrydelse. Men jeg synes oprigtigt, at han er et af de mennesker, jeg har mødt, der virkelig fortjener mulighed for at kunne arbejde sig tilbage til verden.
Whatever happens with this is going to be a turning point in my life. Yeah. Things are going to happen to me. Yeah. Not exactly clear exactly what's going to happen, but I am totally 100% convinced that my life is going to change pretty rapidly, pretty significantly, all right? And now is a good time to wrap up the past in the book before I move on to the next story, the next part of my story, which might result in a different book. But I think this is now a nice time to bring everything to a conclusion, tie it all up, and go. You want to know how I got to this? Read that, and it'll answer all your questions. This bag is the basic. As you can see, this is the one that gets. If there is any snow, this is the one that gets it. The other bag. Set my alarm. I won't be cold in about 5 minutes, no. I don't know how many years I've got left on this planet, but at the age of 46 is probably less than I've got behind. So let's try and do something with them. It might be the best years of my life. Right. See you later, guys. I was crippled with it this morning, and last night I didn't get much sleep. I was just like, could not convince myself on any level that this was going to be a smart move for me to make. I don't know who's going to be there, don't know how many, if anyone. Don't really, try not to think about that. And it's just, I guess this is my first kind of like official going out in front of the public. This is me, this is what I've been doing. Here you go. I guess at the back of my mind, it's like, there's been so many cancellations, so many things talked about that was going to happen that didn't. The fact that actually something is going to happen means it's like, go, do it. This has been, you've been waiting on this a long time, and it quite possibly might be your only chance. Whoa. All for me. I don't think there's going to be like hundreds of people stood up in the corner because we're going to run out of seats, but I think we're going to be okay. And it's not the quantity of the audience, it's the quality of the audience. Yeah, I mean,
Nu vil jeg gerne have, at I tager rigtig godt imod Dave, for nu kommer han herop.
man, the last time I saw this many people in one room, all focused on me, was at York Crown Court. That was a tough audience, and I died that day. Ironically, I'm going to be covering much of the same material as it came out in court. I'm hoping for a far more positive reaction. Tell me about your first time. I raised my eyebrows. That story would take longer to tell than the original act. She laughed. Not that first, your first robbery. Tell me about the first time you pointed a gun at someone. Actually, that's two separate events. I decided to tell about one of the jobs I got caught for as if it was my first. I've actually taken longer to write it than I serve for the crimes that I write about in it. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have bothered starting it. Both the crimes and the book, for that matter.
Så, nu bliver jeg ligesom sådan en amerikansk metodistkirke. Nu skal jeg pengene op af lommen, og nu sender jeg min kur rundt. Fordi der skal ikke være nogen hemmelighed om, at grunden til, at vi er samlet i dag, er jo fordi, at vi skal hjælpe Dave med at opfylde den her drøm om at udgive den her bog. Fra 250 kroner til 500 kroner, så får man en signeret bog. Man kan selv vælge, vil jeg give 250 for den, eller mener jeg, at den er 500 kroner værd. Udgangspunktet er, at vi skal nå at rejse de her penge på 49 dage, og hvis vi ikke nåede vores mål, så bliver pengene returneret til jer. Det I jo også kan lige nu, det er, at I kan også gøre det. Jeg har en iPad her, jeg tror Sune har en iPad et eller andet sted, hvis jeg har en smartphone, og så kan vi lige skyde den her kampagne i gang.
My mother's had some reservations about my behaviour over the years. Well, she did have. So things that she didn't care for. But there's one thing she never lost, was a belief that I could be successful at something if I only found what that was and focused on it and go. And this book would be me going, you were right. You were damn right. You had faith when no one else did. And even though you're not here to see it, it's done. I want to thank Aarhus. It's been very good to me. I hope I haven't embarrassed it. Tack för att du kommer. Thanks. Oh,
You were awesome.
it was better. It went better than I expected. Yeah.
Very good.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good, Dave.
Think that? That's good.
It was such a good.
Thank you.
It went really well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll see you outside.
Yeah,
for a
we'll be
smoke.
around. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Jeg har gået hele dagen med hjertet op i halsen og været, hvordan kommer det til at gå, og slet ikke kunne være i det, altså, fordi at man jo selvfølgelig bliver investeret i det, altså, og det har været op og ned med det her projekt, men altså, man må sige, at han virkelig trækker igennem.
Vi snakker om en mand, der for 10 måneder siden ikke snakkede med fremmede, og for at man kunne ligesom få en samtale, som ikke handlede om andet end en kop kaffe eller noget, så skulle der gå flere måneder til, at vi i dag, der står han, hvad ender der med at være, 70, 80, 90 mennesker måske, hvor i halvdelen han måske, eller mere, han aldrig har set før. Det var nok de færreste, jeg tror også ham selv inklusiv, der havde regnet med, at det var det, der ville ske for 10 måneder siden.
I'm ready to. I can deal with it now. In a way that I wouldn't have been, say, 12 months ago. I think I'm ready for it, and I think there's so much is happening that something big is going to happen, and I'm like, yeah. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if I got words for it. It's just like, whoa. I mean, the chairs were full. There was people standing at the back. That was yeah. I filled that joint. Yeah. And I'm going to...
It's a joint which is for rent. Maybe you can actually take it over on a permanent basis, eh?
Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will. I'll make that, do like regular readings, work in progress. Yeah, I don't know. There's all kinds of things that can happen now, tell me.
Exactly. Everything can happen.
waiting for my first customers on my first walk. I went out yesterday and again this morning to walk over the route. I'm kind of nervous, but I think that's good. A little stage fright keeps you sharp. I don't think anyone is expecting me to be some kind of super professional. Are we all here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. My name's David. I'm homeless. Have been for a few years now, and I'm going to be your guide for the day, show you a horse from a different aspect, the kind of tour guide that the Tourist Information Office wouldn't provide. Contact house. The clue is in the title. That's what it is. Basically, most people don't choose or think they're ever going to end up in this situation, and when everything goes apart, well, they don't know where to go. If your life is already falling apart, you're dealing with other issues as well. Sometimes you can just go, I can't deal with that. And basically what they're trying to do here is show you that, whoa, sit down, we'll do it. Yeah, you messed up. Yeah, you've got problems. Yeah, all that is true. But you're still worth working with, you're still worth working for. You know, I'm not as young as I used to be, so my kind of warming up period is longer than it used to be. You know, I don't want to be out here too often. Thank you for, you know, like I said, this was my first time, and appreciate, you're a good audience.
No, that's good.
Thank you. I think I was a lot more fluent and a lot more open, and that was a very positive experience, and yeah, I'm definitely going to do that again. I'm off to see my friends and hang out with them, see what the children have got for Christmas. Does that bell actually work? Hang on. Small people. Hi, kids.
Hi.
I come bearing gifts. It's cheaper than the piano. Oh! It ain't in this, sir.
Before it gets completely diluted out.
Yeah. Before they break you totally. Timmy, no, we don't do it like that.
No.
You know, it would be, you know, at least interesting.
There's that.
No, these bits come out.
With one. So less than 6 days, we have another 9,000 krona. I'm starting again at the beginning. And I really don't want to do that.
God, it's just this. If this was 50 days, you'd get there easy.
I'm not depressed by it. You know, it's 6 days, but we are going to have to raise about 1,500 a day for the next 6 days, and that's going to be a lot of money. As a new year clock is ticking, I'm going to be alongside it, but I'm going to be watching that, thinking, come on. We were getting closer and closer, but the clock was ticking. I wanted to try to stay optimistic, try to stay confident that we were going to do it and everything, but it was like, are we going to do this? And it was basically really within the last few hours that we got that extra just to push us over. Damn, we actually got it! Now I can get excited. We've now finally got the money. Awesome! It's now February the 26th. The book is supposed to be out March the 15th, and we've got nothing. I have a manuscript, I don't have anything else. And Tommy's not talking to me. I don't know what's going on. I should be looking forward. I should be feeling good about this. Happy that I did it, and I got the chance to do it, and I did the best with it. I'm feeling none of that right now, nothing.
Vi arbejder på at få Daves bog ud så hurtigt som overhovedet muligt. Men der er ingen tvivl om, at hvis det lyspunkt, man har i sit liv, det er, at man skal udgive en bog, så er det død frustrerende, at bogen ikke bare kommer ud, så man får den drøm opfyldt. Men det er en del af en længere proces. Det har været væsentligt sværere at finde en engelsksproget redaktør, som er bosiddende i Danmark. Bogen har solgt den 234 eksemplarer på nuværende tidspunkt, hvis du ser på, hvordan folk har købt den. Så altså man kan sige, før den første bog er trykt, er vi godt på vej. Der er altså over 200 solgte eksemplarer, og nu er det bare, at vi skal gå fra fundingen til shippingen. Det vil sige, at bogen skal redigeres, og den skal trykkes, og så skal den forhåbentlig lande i folks postkasser før sommerferien.
I'm so tired right now, which is one of the reasons why I was getting so stressed with the delays and not knowing what's going on. Mostly because I want this out before I finally break. Is it my clock? The biggest thing that's come out of all of this is that I know now I have to make. My life is going to be moving. It could be backwards, it could be forwards, but it's not going to stay like this. And that at the moment is predominantly kind of scary. It's slightly exciting, and to a certain extent, kind of fun. It's I'm 48 years of age. I didn't think there was an awful lot left about me to discover. I was wrong. Apparently, there's a lot more. There is a lot more about me to discover. I didn't think I could ever do this. I'd always wanted to write, but I never thought it would actually succeed. I never thought I'd get anybody interested in it or get anyone to be supportive or enthusiastic about it. I didn't think I could attract that kind of backup. Turns out I can. Very odd.